Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Micah, and this channel is dedicated to learning, teaching, and discussing everything about cybersecurity. So today we're doing something a bit different. We're going to be in AWS, and we're going to learn how to spin up an SSH server using EC2, and we're going to learn how to build the VPC, subnet, internet gateway, route tables, security groups, everything that you see on screen here. This is kind of a template of what we're going to build and how we're going to build it. And you might be wondering, like, what's the point of this? Well, I want to offload any resource utilization or dependency installation onto a remote server. That way I don't have to worry about, using too much RAM or CPU or introducing any vulnerabilities into my local host. And if you've never heard of any of this before, you should be able to take away some newfound AWS knowledge from this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, so the first step is creating our VPC, and VPC stands for Virtual Private Cloud. It's basically a secure, isolated private cloud that's hosted within a public cloud. So it's our own little island within our AWS account. So we're going to go to VPC here, and then we're going to hit Create VPC. Oh, not that one. Hit Create VPC. We're going to name this My Demo VPC, and we're going to use the IP Cedar block that's already here in the example. All right, so create VPC, and then we're going to go to Actions, Edit VPC Settings, and we're going to enable DNS host names, and that's it for that part. All right, so next step is creating the subnet. So the subnet is a range of IP addresses in your VPC, and you can create AWS resources such as EC2 instances and specific subnets. So we're going to go to subnets, create subnet, select the VPC we just created, and we're going to name it, and then we're going to specify the usable IP space within this Cedar block that is here. So we're just going to use 28, which is 16 IPs. You can see right here, and then create subnet. Next step is our security group creation. A security group controls the traffic that is allowed to reach and leave the resources that is associated with. So for example, after you associate a security group with the EC2 instance, it controls the inbound and outbound traffic for the instance. So let's go to our security group, and we're going to create a new one. Security group name, and allow SSH to dev host. So we're going to choose the VPC again that we just created, my demo VPC, and we're going to add an inbound rule for SSH from my specific IP address. So my IP, then outbound rule, all traffic is fine. We're just worried about the inbound stuff. So create security group, and you can lock down your outbound, if you so choose, but for the demo, we're just going to allow everything outbound. Next step is creating the internet gateway. So the internet gateway provides a target in your VPC route tables for internet routable traffic. It also enables resources in your public subnets, such as EC2 instances, to connect to the internet if the resource has a public IPv4 address or an IPv6 address. So internet gateways, same thing, create internet gateway, and create internet gateway. And then next step is creating a route table, or actually we need to attach the internet gateway to our VPC. So hit attach. Now we can create a route table. So your route table contains a set of rules called routes that determines where network traffic from your subnet or gateway is directed. So create route table, my demo route table, and we're going to select the VPC once again, hit create, and we need to add a route. So we're going to add route, destination, everything to our internet gateway. So we're allowing everything from the internet to our internet gateway, and choose the internet gateway that we created just a few moments ago. So I noticed something. For some reason, the route table defaults to, I think, the default route table. So we're going to actually delete this one, delete this route table, delete, And you see we have a main route table connected to our VPC here. We're going to edit this one. So exact same thing as before, and point all traffic to our internet gateway and hit save. Whoops. And hit save. All right, so now we're ready to create our EC2 instance. And we're just going to search for EC2 up at the top, EC2, and hit launch instance. And again, name it my EC2 or demo instance, if I could type. And we're going to use Amazon Linux, and this is free tier eligible, so we definitely want that. All this is good. We're going to create a new key pair. We're going to use the key pair to connect to our instance. Instead of using username and password, we use our key pair. So we're going to use EC2 5519. It is more performant and more secure than RSA. And we're going to use PEM because we're using OpenSSH. So my demo key, create key pair, and that should download it to our desktop. All right, so here we're going to specify the network infrastructure that we just created. So my demo VPC, subnet my demo security group. We want to enable the public IP auto assignment. Select the existing security group, my demo SG, which we just created, and then you get up to 30 gigs of SSD storage, but I'm just going to leave this default for the demo. And I believe that's all that we need here. So we're going to go ahead and launch instance. And so the instance has to provision itself. You see I was working on something earlier that was terminated. So while this is pending right here, we will go ahead and make some configuration or permission changes for our key that we just downloaded. All right, so I'm going to open a command prompt, and we're going to cd into downloads, and we're going to move the my demo key that we just created into our SSH folder. Then we're going to cd into our SSH folder. Whoops. All right, so you see I have two keys here. I have something I actually use, and then this key for the demo. We are going to go into our SSH folder, which I already opened, and we will change the permissions to be only us. And this is like a best practice thing. That way no other users can access it. So my demo key, right click, properties, go to advanced, whoops, security, then advanced, hit change, or not change, disable inheritance, convert inherited permissions into explicit permissions. So we're going to remove any other users and then hit apply. Okay. All right, so our instance is finally running. Let's go ahead and see if we can SSH into it. So we're going to do SSH-I, and we're going to specify the PIM file that we just downloaded, and then we're going to use the public IPv4 host name of our instance, and hopefully this works. Huh? Oh, I forgot to specify the user. All right, cool. That seemed to work. All right, so hopefully you were able to learn something from this video. I know we moved a bit fast, but we did cover a lot. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below in the comment section. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them down in the comment section as well. And please leave a like, subscribe. It helps the channel out immensely. And that's it for today. I will see you on the next video. Be blessed.